welcome to the Positivity Project Foundation. Hi, Neha. So, this time we are back with a very interesting and powerful episode that deals with the deeper aspect of nurturing ourselves and our future generations.
Nurturing is such a beautiful word. It is what our planet and each of us living here really need. I also think we need to begin work on ourselves urgently. This is our moment to save ourselves, planet Earth, and our children.
And that is why we decided to turn to wisdom that comes with experience. It is our honor and pleasure to present Gurmukh Kaur Khalsa, an 80-year-old globally recognized yoga teacher who has taught the lives of Madonna, Courtney Love, and Gwyneth Paltrow.
But that's not her only claim to fame. Gurmukh is someone who dealt with the loss of a child at the age of 22 and then miraculously had her second at the age of 42, giving birth to her daughter at home with the help of a midwife and the yogic principles she learned from her guru, Yogi Bhajan. She's now hailed as the queen of prenatal yoga and has helped thousands of women give birth with ease.
And in this session, she talks about what it will take for the world to shift when we recognize the nurturing and the nourishing feminine within each of us, men and women alike, about giving birth more consciously and raising a future generation that is resilient, powerful, peaceful, and uplifted.
We sent her some questions we thought are relevant to many of us and have some remarkable insights from her on those. She ends the session with a beautiful and deeply relaxing meditation. Over to Gurmukh Kaur Khalsa now.
Sat Nam, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this program. I was very excited from the beginning and have been contemplating the 20 questions. I'll do the best I can. I'm here in Taos, New Mexico, on my way to our jungle home in Mexico, in Tulum. So I was very glad to be able to do this before we go tomorrow to the jungle. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for your efforts and for your love for humanity, children, mothers, and families. I will attempt to do the best I can, and I will answer each of the 20 questions. I'll read them first and then give you a synopsis of what's going on in my heart at this moment. What can we do to offer our love and healing to Mother Earth? Everything we do, really. What you eat, how you breathe, how you smile, how you project healing power to the earth, how you do it with your family, your children, and anyone you might see on the street. It's contagious. Love is the victory. Love is easy. If you just begin with your heart, your words, and your smiles, there's nothing better that we as women and as human beings can begin. And it's free and it's there all the time for you to imbibe in. What key things do you tell expecting mothers to focus on while bringing a new life into this world? Well, first of all, want this new life into this world. Want your pregnancy. Love your pregnancy. Appreciate the miracle that's going on inside of you. And thusly, your children will also feel the miracle of their own lives. How does one do this? Praying, eating very, very good, for knowing that this nurturing outside is going in your mouth and going into your baby's every cell, dividing. Pray. If you don't know how to do any of this or have not practiced it, practice it. Get a way to live before you bring in a soul. And you will call in a saint. And saints we need so much right now onto this earth. It's called consciousness. How can mothers change this world? By just that. Whether you have baby in womb or have never had a child, you still are a mother. You're a mother because you're a nurturer to the human race. So don't limit that label, that mother, if you have children or don't have children, because we are all mothers of this earth. We're keepers of this earth. We're nurturers of this earth. And we're nurturers to all men on planet Earth also. Again, a smile, hands, cooking, helping, hugging. Just being happy is contagious. From when our children are in the womb, what can we teach them to make the world a more peaceful and positive place? There's a saying that only by example can the truth be known and the truth be felt. So as you feel, you'll be able to portray that to your children. So prepare yourself before you take a soul into your womb. Prepare yourself. Perhaps a 40-day meditation, a 40-day cleanse, a 40-day walking in the park or in the woods, talking to the partner very much of this child, seeing if you're on the same page for raising your children. Understand the medical protocol. Right now is a dangerous protocol. Make a decision perhaps upon vaccinations, upon home birth, upon nursing your child as long as possible. All these things, circumcision, all these things must be decided if you're in a relationship with the Father before it all comes up. Come on the same page of agreement, same page of commitment, and same prayer of carrying it out. What is our most urgent need as human beings? Heart. Heart and consciousness and consciousness and heart. The more people that come into their own true identity, their own Sat-Nam, that's how the world will take its turn into based on love, not on power and not on greed. If we can turn the corner to live from here, if you're a businessman, if you're a banker, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're a householder, if you're a laborer, it does not matter. It does not matter of status on the earth. What matters is status in the heart and in the consciousness. How does one do this? Well, we'll go on and we'll find out. Maybe some things I'm saying you already do, or you say, I'll try that one. What part of ourselves do we need to nourish and care for so that we leave a healed planet to our future generations? Beautiful question. I want to talk just a little bit about food. By being a vegetarian and not killing animals, that might be the first step. Also, to eat as well as you can, as organic as you can. That will help nurture your body, nurture your families. And the more poisons and the GMOs and the pesticides and all the chemicals that are put in so much fields of growing now, try to seek out foods that don't have contamination, because that contamination actually poisons your brain. It doesn't allow you to think clear thoughts or conscious thoughts. And children especially. Children who eat a lot of sugar, a lot of chemically induced foods, packaged foods, they don't stand a chance really, because the brain is developing in a very plastic and a non-real way. Fruits, vegetables, grains, wow. That helps to nurture body, mind, and soul. When we start healing work for children in our womb, how do we heal? well, you do heal. If you're eating well, praying, meditating, walking up to 5 miles a day in your pregnancy, if you're working on the loving relationship with the Father, if you avoid stress and know you're being taken care of, you will heal because that's who you are. And that in turn will only heal and nurture your child. For like becomes like. What is the best communication that a mother can have with her unborn child and later her born child? Prayer. We're going to learn a prayer today for our meditation, Bhuta Mata Kia. The prayer basically means, oh God, oh Divine Mother, can you please help me to nourish and nurture my child so they never become disconnected with you, O Creator. Not disconnected with earthly mother. We are the vehicle that allows them to come to this earth, but the real mother, the Divine Father, are that which created all of us as one. How can a mother help to transform her own children and also those children around her? Let's go universal. Let's say all children. Yes, you have yours that came through your womb or through adoption or other ways, living in your household. But don't forget the millions of children who perhaps are not being prayed for, who perhaps do not have food on the table, do not have nurturing arms from their mother and father. We must bring them into our circle of family called children. There are children too. Don't forget, reach out wherever you can, wherever you live. Are there children to feed in your community? Are there children who need clothing? Are there children who need education? Does your community need more nurturing as far as toilets, sanitation, water? There's an unending amount globally. And I'm telling you, if you dive into it, you'll find such peace, such happiness of serving. Serve those who need to be served. What daily practice do you recommend for both men and women to enhance their nurturing capabilities towards themselves and others around them and globally? Thank you, that's a great question. For me, having done this practice of Kundalini Yoga for the last 52 years, if I didn't have sadhana to rise in the ambrosial hours before the sun comes up, and once again, over and over again, bow my head and thank God for this new day, and have a practice of meditation, of Kundalini Yoga, of chanting that nurtures me. When I'm done, after the sun has risen to its brightness in this long, long summer coming solstice, I'm complete. I'm complete for the rest of the day. I can't imagine just waking up, rolling out of bed, turning the TV on, see what's going on in the world, and having a cup of coffee. It doesn't even seem human. So it's a good time of year because you can sleep longer. The sun doesn't come up till later most places on planet Earth. But make a remembrance. It may not be the same as I do. You may be Catholic and go to Mass every morning. You may decide to take a long walk as the sun is coming up. You may be cooking for children in an orphanage. You may be doing something, but do it before the sun comes up. We do sun gazing here where we go out. The sun comes up in New Mexico about 5:10 a.m. So you sit and you open your eyes and you stare as the sun rises up. It's sensational. It helps your eye vision and also It brings your hunger level for food down. Try it. It's an old yogic thing. And then go about your day. How can men look at their feminine side and use it to their best potential? Great question. If men can draw in more moon energy, their life is so much sweeter, nicer, easier, more prosperous, more health, more good looks, more smiles, more laughs. A feminine moon is important and it resides in every man. Nurture it. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to hug more, love more, and let your worries drop off, because they only stop you from whatever you want in your life to happen. They're just like a block, a gate. Fear and worry blocks you from your heart. Your heart is the one that has to lead the show. Heart brings consciousness, connection with Creator. It's a law. Children need time, which doesn't happen when mothers are stressing with professional responsibilities. In what ways can a woman balance work and bringing up children responsibly? Or bringing, I like to say, children up in love. First of all, assess your life. Do you really have to work, or do you just want to get ahead? Do you want to make more money or have a professional status? And your children come secondary, then don't have children. Absolutely do not have children. Because they're your first priority the first 3 years of their lives. And if you have to back off financially or successfully driven, do it if you want to have children. Otherwise, don't. Get a pet. Get a cute little dog. Because children need you, a child and a mother. A mother is the first teacher of a child the first 3 years. So that means the majority of the time you need to be with them. Not ship them out to school when they're 6 months old all day long. Not have nannies or other people. Yes, family, that they can go next door and be with their grandmama or grandpapa or however it works in the extension of your family. Feed them. Cook the food for them. Nurse them. Nurture them. Play with them. Do everything. But a mother needs to be more with her child than anyone else. Otherwise, don't have children. Because they're our future of tomorrows. And if they feel love from you and consciousness from you, they will extend that. They will not forget at the age of 7. Keep them off electronics. Read them books. Take them out into nature. Even if it's a park in your city. Have them look at trees and look at the sky and smell a flower and see a butterfly, a bird. If you keep your child connected to nature, not up here, they will become nurturers of themselves and of the world. What single thing tremendously helped you to create the shift for you to transform your own life? Misery, pain, confusion, even wanting to commit suicide when I was 19. I had to know why I was alive. I had to know purpose. I had to learn to pray. I had to leave all the old paradigm of what I should be from my parents, from my country, from my religion, and from my education, for it didn't really matter. What mattered inside of me was to pray, meditate enough to find out what was my destiny. What am I supposed to do this lifetime. And I knew that if I couldn't find it out, I didn't want to live. Slowly but slowly, that was when I was 19. Slowly but slowly at 80 years old, I have a general idea. And I'm so thrilled I stuck around. How difficult is doing sadhana in a woman's body, considering the many changes to deal with, from monthly hormones to the major changes that occur with childbirth and later menopause. Since I've gone through all of them, and sometimes just so confused, so not knowing who to turn to or what to turn to, I had to go inside myself. Yes, I read a lot of books on menopause and listened to advice of people. And in childbirth at 42, yes, I had to lean towards other people, but in the end, it's you who has to do it. It's you who have to have your baby and go through that labor. And it's you who has to go through the menopause. But if it's done in celebration, if it's done with joy, which means the fear has to leave, and that only comes, as I know it, through meditation. Because the opposite of fear is love. And when you can love and find the joy in as much as possible, I'm not saying 100%, because you will have swoops. It will be a roller coaster, especially in menopause. The foods you eat are so important in menopause. The exercise you do, the cardiovascular that you do, sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, off of meds, off of chemicals, you shall sail through it smoothly then. How can women do to overcome their physical challenges? By keep doing physical challenges. Keep up your daily practice. It will change as you grow older. I don't do the kind of yoga I did when I was 30 now that I'm 80. The body doesn't move as well as it used to, but it still does good. And I still hike and walk and play and cook food for people. Grow a garden. Just know there's a time, place, and a season. And everything is cyclical until your last breath. But for me, the biggest, most important thing is that word enjoy. Enjoy. To be in joy. You can either wash all your dishes and be miserable, why me? Or you can find a joy in the warm water and the bubbles. You can chant and you can watch the glimmering, clean dishes. And that in itself is, it's like a miracle. But it's your head that makes the decision. Wash the dishes. Wash the dishes. How can women tap more into their inner power and Shakti and become less dependent on the social image of vulnerability that has been ascribed to them? Stop watching TV, ads, marketing. Start coming into what would you like to wear? What clothes do you love? What colors do you love? Tradition has a place, but if it is not a place that connects you with heart and consciousness, then what's the point? There's been so many insane traditions, like killing people, like burning people at the stakes, like putting women down. It's traditional, but it's not based on truth. So ask yourself, is my life based on truth? And if it's not, see what you can do to bring it back to Satnam, to truth is my true identity. It takes a while sometimes, it takes years sometimes, but little by little by little, you get back home to you. Without you, what do you have? You have this whole world out there that's prescribing to you what you are. Is that you? The older I get, the more I enjoy life because I can do anything I want to do. And no one says, oh, why is she doing that? Well, she's 80. Heck, she can do anything she wants. I wish I'd known this before, that I didn't have to follow trends or fashions or what people were thinking about me. Now I don't care because I'm in joy within myself and I can just have a fun now. Is expecting women wanting to produce children who are naturally healthy, both physically and mentally, and who will grow up to be successful, the right attitude to bring in a new life. Is expecting women's wanting to produce children who are naturally healthy and physically and mentally, and who will grow up to be successful, the right attitude to, yeah, why not? In utero, pray. Your child is healthy and happy and holy. But no, every child, every human has karma, and that you picked each other. And perhaps you'll have to venture with that child to maybe what didn't become so exact. But be willing to take the opportunity and the chances of the unknown. And if you do not have that faith, then I suggest you do not have children, because you're going to give that same fear base to your child, and then generation after generation will carry on in a world based on fear and not love. It takes preparation. Like you go to college, or you become a doctor, or you become accomplished in dancing, or whatever it is. You work at it. You prepare for it. You must do that. It's not just, oh, I'll just get pregnant because I'm supposed to, because it's time. No. Go deep inside, find your source, and ask that source-based heart, should I have a child? Maybe that source will say no. When I was 20, 21, I got pregnant with a child, and the child died at 7 months old from a congenital heart defect. One of the saddest, most difficult times, because I didn't have any tools. I didn't know how to meditate. I didn't know how to pray. I just didn't know anything. And it was 22 years later that God gave me our daughter, Gurmukh Kaur, at 42 years old. I didn't plan that. It was planned for me. So call upon destiny, your heart, your consciousness, and the Creator. Call upon them. Say, how should I work this life? I am here to serve. I am here in gratitude. What should an expecting woman thought process be towards your baby? Prayer, joy, happiness, gratitude, gratefulness. And then do everything on the earth plane to follow that by eating well. Fruits and vegetables and grains. Walking up to 5 miles a day. Doing your sadhana. Doing your yoga. Now, if you have other children, you always say, well, how can I do all that? Bring them in. Do your yoga with them. Do your sadhana with them. It's a family affair. Have friends that are on the same vibrational frequency as you. They're out there. Have pregnant mamas who are on the same vibrational frequency. But maybe there's a pregnancy yoga or meditation class where everybody's got that same feeling. What is the first step for us all in order to nurture our children and our planet with equal care? It starts at home, in your own heart, of how much you can only love as much as you love yourself. You can't give away love if you don't have love. You can only nurture as much as you nurture yourself. So take care of yourself. Love yourself, body, mind, and soul. Prepare to have children. And if you've got children already, take time to find a place for just you. Often mothers lose their identity in their children. They're only a mother. No, you're a true identity beyond a mother, beyond children, beyond anything on this earth. There's something that's connecting you, your soul, with the divine. Lose that, you lose your life, and the children feel it. Keep that, your children will benefit from it. I pray that this helps a little bit. If I can help anybody else, please let me know. And I did write a book. It's called Bountiful, Beautiful, Blissful, and it is about pregnancy and motherhood. It's quite good because it's the ancient teachings just put down on paper for all of you to understand and perhaps to take and live by. We're going to do this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful meditation I do every day. And I do it for my child, for my grandchild, and for everybody, everywhere, for children born and unborn. It goes like this. It's Bhuta Mata Kia. It means basically, please, oh Creator, I know I'm Earth Mother, but do not, my prayer is that my child never disconnects from Creator. Because that's the nurture, that's the link. That's the link to joy, to happiness, to health, to everything. So this is how it goes. We'll do it for just a little bit, and then you can get this in Spotify, Bhuta, B-O-T-A, Mata, which is mother, and it's by Narinder Kaur. Narinder Kaur. You can get it on Spotify. It's basically on the tape, it's 10 minutes. You can do it like 7. This can be part of your morning sadhana. You just sit.
This is thy mother's prayer. This is thy mother's.
Bring the hands in prayer. Eyes roll to here.
Buddha Mata ki asis. Buddha Mata ki asis. Buddha Mata ki asis. Mata ki जिस सिमरत सब के लिखना से पितरी होए उदारो सो हर हर तुम साध ही जागो झागायंत न पारो
Letting the words sing if you like. Open the heart so wide, arms high, back down to your own heart. Let your wings fly at 60 degrees. Opening, nurturing, exalting the highest centers in your consciousness. Stretch high, stretch mighty. Aligning all the chakras to the heart. Eyes are closed. We'll go over it one more time. It's 60, 60, both 60s. 60 again, stretch high and bring the arms to the heart. It's a nice, easy rhythm. I also wanted to say one last thing. And that is very important, that we don't lose sight of fun, joy, and play. When you get a chance to go on a picnic with your children, walk in the park or go into the forest or be on the waters, the land, the seas, take yourself to nature, take your children to nature, and see that the miracles are still there. The joy is still there. The birds are still singing. The kitty cats are still meowing. Keep it magical. Keep it mystical. And keep your life miraculous by paying attention to right what's in front of you. Don't get caught in the news, in the worldly, in the gossip. Stay above it. Look down below and pray. You have a wonderful, wonderful life. If you choose it, live it, be it, love it. Thank you so much for inviting me. I pray that this helps maybe just a little bit. And Satnam.
We are so grateful to Gurmukh Kaur Khalsa for this enlightening and uplifting session. Thank you so much for joining us today.